Kind of ITV2, it's basically ITV's reality and entertainment channel that has a block from CITV and recently added shows from ITVB since the latter shut down and became ITV Quiz back in June. But did you know back in the 1960s and 1970s, this channel would have been the 4th UK TV channel and not Channel 4. So subscribe to LelandDJF and let's begin. So currently the main channels are BBC One, which would be dubbed Channel 1, BBC 2, which was Channel 2, ITV and STV, which are both legally called Channel 3, and of course Channel 4 and Channel 5. And that always has been that way. You can count S42 since it's also Channel 4 Wales, which is on 104 in Wales. But around the 1960s, the plan was for BBC One, BBC 2 and ITV. Well, around the 1960s, the channels were those 3 channels. But during the Television Act of 1954, there were plans for independent television to have more channels, which at the time it was just ITV and not ITV1. But around then, the ITV independent licenses like Scottish, Grampian, HTV, Ulster, London Weekend, and all franchises were under this unbranded channel, which were properly dubbed ITV2. When transmissions began on the 625 line ultra-high frequency in the early 1960s, the General Post Office was afforded the task to allocate each transmitter region with a set of frequencies that would provide maximum coverage and minimal interference. This provided the capacity for 4 television channels, allowing one each for the existing BBC, later to become BBC One, and ITV services already carried on the 405 line very high frequency, one for BBC Two from the 20th of April 1964, and a 4th for the future allocations. By 1968, the ITA considered this sufficiency likely that the new franchises were awarded for a 10-year period for the next. They included a clause that allowed the license to be revoked and considered if a 4th UHF network became a reality. But don't worry, all TV manufacturers all put 4 buttons on either the remote, like what we possibly have now with Roku, Samsung, and Google, etc. And the ones that they put were BBC One, BBC Two, ITV1, and of course the new ITV2. And of course around then there was probably nothing on ITV2, but some things on BBC's 1 and 2 and ITV. But if you read the Wikipedia article, the manufacturers listed ITV as ITV1, which I assume that means ITV got the licenses, or had ITV got licenses and launched ITV2 in the 70s and 60s, then ITV would probably have to rebrand their main channel as ITV1 straight after ITV2 would have launched as the 4th channel. Because that what happens because Channel 4 was the 4th broadcaster, and when ITV2 launched in 1998, it wasn't until 2001 when ITV became ITV1. Then back to ITV in 2013, and again ITV1 in 2022. And if you want to see a video on the ITV rebrand in 2022, it's already here on LelandDJF1, calling it that for this purpose, for branding purposes, or you can check out the link in the description below. But people really need to say that, they really need to make that mind up. Thank you guys for those comments about that topic on the videos I just mentioned. So if ITV2 was launched around, I don't know, 1965 or later, as long before 1982, I say even 1975, then ITV becomes ITV1. However, this fell down shortly afterwards. The issue was a sensitive political point. The Labour Party of the 1950s and 1960s had traditionally been against commercial television, and many on the left of the party wanted to see all commercial television abolished, advocating instead of an expansion of the BBC, which was not acted upon, most likely due to cost. The following Conservative government and the advocates of commercial broadcasting were also slow to act and implemented a new network. After Edward Heath's victory in the general election on the 18th of June 1970, instead concentrated on independent local radio when the Sound Broadcasting Act of 1972 received a royal assent on the 12th of July 1972, and the Independent Television Authority accordingly changed its name to the Independent Broadcast Authority, IBA, on the same day. On the 3rd of February 1977, the Annual Committee on the Future of Broadcasting made its recommendations to include an establishment of a fourth independent television channel, albeit controlled by a new Open Broadcast Authority (OBA), the establishment of the company's Complaints Commission, with an increase of an independent production. ITV companies like Scottish, Grampian, London Weekend, HTV, and Ulster continue to hope for ITV2. With the approach of the 1979 general election on the 3rd of May, both the Conservatives and Labours included plans for a full channel in their election manifestos. Labour favoured of an Open Broadcast Authority community service aimed at minority groups, while the Conservatives' plan was for a channel to be given to ITV. Both main parties also pledged to launch a separate Welsh language television service for Wales. But when the Conservatives were elected, the new Home Secretary, William Whitehall, decided against the idea and suggested an occasional opt-out that the service should be the same offered in the rest of the United Kingdom. This led to acts of civil disobedience, including refusals to pay the TV licence fee, and sittings used for both the BBC and HTV studios, with some attacks on various transmitters for the Welsh-speaking areas. On the 17th of September 1998, the government reversed its position on a separate Welsh language service for Wales, as following opposition from the public and politicians, including a threat from the former president of Plaid, Cat Conwy, Gifford Evans, to go on hunger strike, and the idea was given the green light. This led to the establishment of the Welsh Fourth Channel Authority. Later on November 13th that year, the Broadcast Act of 1980 paved the way to create the new fourth television service as a subsidy of the IBA, with a subscription to be levied on the ITV regional companies to pay for this channel, with the ITV companies able to sell in commercial airtime in return. So in 1981, Channel 4 was established and became the fourth channel, and then Channel 5 launched in 1997. And now, just decades later, we come to the conclusion that, what if ITV2 was the fourth channel? Now, we can't go back in time to the 60s or 70s and even stop these issues and launch ITV2. That's not how it works. But I can do a workaround, and that is scenarios. And yes, I've done this loads of times when if ITV bought STV, or BBC Ireland, or BBC buys S4C. So we can use a scenario to figure out if these issues were resolved and ITV2 launch. So yes, the ITV franchises get this new channel. So I'm assuming that you'll probably like channels that will have regional names like, I don't know, Grampian TV2 Television 2 or Scottish Television 2. But most likely ITV2 either acts like BBC 2 or another ITV, so I assume news or whatnot. But then what if the lineup was BBC 1, BBC 2, ITV, and ITV2? But also I'm thinking ITV2 would back then would probably change if this was happening and just became what it is now. Excuse me, I'm cutting out. But what about the fifth channel? I have no clue about that one. Maybe Channel 4 in 1981 is established as Channel 5 Television Corporation, and then Channel 5 is Channel 6. To be honest, I have no clue, so I'll leave it up to you for now. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and also yes, I am back. So regarding my absence, I decided to go all out and enjoy life more. And also, I have recently watched LelandDJF 1 Extra, relaunched the channel to LelandDJF 3. There's already a new video out there as well, and there is a video to enjoy on that channel, which is the new setup video. And yes, weekly videos are back. So finally, thank you guys for the support on the last 3 videos, and keep building the dream. So that is it. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, and peace out.